It's a big master day today. December 1st is this 11 master day. It's been one of those, there's been lots of days of overwhelm lately, I find. Okay, I'm going to go back. All right, here we go. Welcome everybody to our Friday night meditation session. And tonight, there we go. Welcome Facebook world. We are live. Okay, perfect. So our theme for tonight, I chose the theme of releasing regrets because this whole week has been quite profound. When we have a full moon happen like we did with the sun in Sagittarius and the moon in Gemini, it's like this great bringing together of balance between the head and the heart and the soul and the physical, and it's like this huge contrasting kind of an energy, but that is bringing some real clarity to things. And this full moonlight, what it did was brought clarity to some very deep shadows that we never even expected to go into, some insight that we've been having in areas that are bringing knowledge as far as beautiful things that we needed to really be able to heal, to be able to kind of move through into this big 8 manifestation year that's coming ahead, right? And yeah, you guys are feeling that too. It was intense. Like Monday was a very intense day. Intense is like the word of the day for that day. It was there was some again with those sort of bipolar personalities, Gemini, Sagittarius, there's some aggression that was coming out with people where they were just kind of feeling more aggressive than usual and maybe even acting more aggressively than usual. And if that was us as the aggressor per se, or that even the reactive aggressor reacting to people being aggressive around us, it gave us an opportunity to kind of look at those parts and where that came from. And for some, that part was very strong, and we maybe reacted more strongly than we have maybe over this last year. We've been pretty, kind of holding it together per se, but the emotions that were coming through on Monday were so extreme. And as we went into Wednesday was a day of like real overwhelm. There was a lot happening sort of all at once, surprise things, intense things coming in from outer sources, even if it wasn't our own sources. There was some stuff coming at us on Wednesday that was just the only word I could think of was overwhelming, that whole overwhelm feeling. And so it was so important. Good evening, Nikki, welcome. It was so important to stay grounded and really breathe and kind of take it moment by moment, piece by piece, one thing at a time, really kind of just not allowing ourselves to sort of get into that overwhelm. And as the day went on, I was doing a little bit more research. Hello. And there was this massive solar flare that happened on Wednesday. And that affects the healers as well, or even people that are sort of a little bit more maybe empathic or connected, sensitive. That was really affecting the people in that way, where it was like their brains were just going away on them, just like couldn't keep thoughts together, or there was so many thoughts that they were all kind of coming out at once, and people were really feeling that need to sort of vent it all and get it out there. And it was like really this day for sort of slowing down that reaction and really breathing and responding with care. And one of the things that really came up for me this week that I wanted to share with you guys that really channeled through was that in the overwhelm especially, I'm just going to throw mute on just because there's a little background noise there, but by all means, not doing it to be rude. Come on and chat if you wanted to. Um, the power that we could give other people in this time, especially this last week, kind of going into next week. I want to say it right, because really other people are going to be very sort of reacting very strongly. There's going to be lots of stuff kind of coming at us. And what is really important is our own vibration. And this is important in so many ways, because the thoughts lately, just on a collective level, are like, that person maybe is never going to change. And we kind of get this story in our head around that. And what happens is when we make these shifts, when we make these choices, when we light that path for others by just being our best self, our own true authentic self, it's going to resonate with certain people, and it's going to affect other people in some pretty amazing ways. And so we may have, especially with some relationships, we may have felt like, things are never going to get better. Things are never going to change. But that is simply that story that we're choosing. So what if we chose to really work on ourselves, to know when, that maybe it's getting a little over the top of what we're comfortable with, that we can back off and we can say, you know what, not having any part of that right now. Gotta just back off. Just, setting up these boundaries and getting the angel bumps or goosebumps, just telling me, yes, this is information that is important. Because by us simply making these choices to live in our true nature and purpose, be our authentic selves, honor how we feel and who we are, because this is what we've been coming into especially this last couple of weeks, last couple of months, is really that Scorpio energy that we had last month really kind of shed this new skin for this person that we really are becoming, and these deep-seated shadows that we were seeing and getting inklings of and glimpses of, especially this last week, and will continue into this week, are for this healing in a different way. And so I want us to know how much power we have in just being our true selves, and how much it can truly affect the people around us. Even if we, sometimes we feel like maybe they need more, maybe they need some help in certain ways, we can help them by being tuned in and being grounded and being level-headed and being in love, not matching their fear, we know now they're likely just acting from fear. They're likely just acting from that egoic agenda. They're not feeling safe. So how can I help them to feel more safe, instead of maybe even threatening that a little bit more? And these old stories, these old shadows that have been cropping up and sort of showing us some things and allowing us to see some things lately, have been to help us in this exact situation, in this exact scenario, in who we really want to be moving forward. It feels yucky. It doesn't feel, those parts of us, those are those traumatized parts that are acting out. And these parts are being healed right now by allowing these visions to come in. There's been a lot of parental healing going on. There's been a lot of aha moments of, this is why I now see why my brother was such an asshole growing up, or I now see, like, you can go in from a different perspective. You can see, like, he was really going through it, and this was his way of acting. It was simply all the information he had at the time. He acted out of his best, but we're understanding it on a different level. I don't know if you guys are feeling this with me, but like, even with our parents, with healing, I've had some stuff with my teenagers come up this week to sort of not only bring me back to deal with my own traumas of being a teenager and the things that I was going through at that time, because I meditated on it and this is what exactly was going on, but also to prevent hurt and harm and maintain relationships that are beyond important to me, to make sure that I am being the best mom that I can, that I am not repeating patterns that just have, we get sort of triggered by that unsafe part. And had I not been grounded, things could have gone a whole lot differently. And so this is almost a time for like, look how far we've come. This month is kind of about reflecting over this last year, and not like, we have Neptune's energy, and Neptune's been in retrograde for like 5 months, and it's finally starting to move forward in the beginning of December here. And so we're going to kind of come out of that whole like delusional phase that we were in, these stories that we told ourselves all along. It's like now we can kind of finally move forward, and for a whole year it's not going to be in retrograde, it's going to be moving forward. So we're going to be feeling this beautiful Neptune energy coming in at the end of the week. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about that, but I have a lot to talk about tonight, because the other thing is that we've been meditating, we've been doing all these things, we've been talking every day, every week in our group about very masculinized meditation practices. And so, when I'm saying you've got to go meditate for 15 minutes, 5 times a day, 3 times a day, whatever it is, I keep hearing people that have been on this journey, what they said is, I have to meditate for an hour a day, or I cannot function. I cannot. And what came to me that I really want to share with you guys tonight is about more of the feminine aspect of meditation. When we look at masculine aspect, it's very Joe Dispenza, very sit in space, sit still, listen to the echo, think of nothing. You're attached to nothing. You are nothing. You are not your mind. You are not your body. Very masculine, very sort of rule oriented. Whereas I think where I was kind of starting to go into with this ecstatic dance, with all these things that have been kind of coming up over the last couple of weeks that I've been chatting with you guys about, it was like this rush of feminine energy when we are meditating. I'm at the point now where I can accept that. I was not there, in that I was not connecting to my body enough. I was still being outside of. And in doing some of these practices, this has really helped me this week. So I thought it would probably help you too. One of my favorite meditations when we talk about feminine meditation, or meditating for the feminine, is the Tree of Life meditation. And I don't know if I've ever shared this with you guys before, but it'll be really nice to just do this very quickly, just be the Tree of Life before I head into, I'm just going to give you like a little bit of a weekly update so you guys know what's going to be happening this week. Because by the end of Wednesday night, I was talking about the overwhelm of Wednesday. By Wednesday night, I was like, I'm over Wednesday. I just want to go to bed to just kind of end this day and just have a new fresh start tomorrow, because I knew the next day this energy was going to sort of be waning a little bit about this intensity. And I don't know if I knew yet about the solar flare, but it all just kind of made sense, because when we get a solar flare, it's kind of like, I started saying spiritual awakening people, starseeds, healers, light workers. It's like sticking your finger in a light socket and getting electrocuted, where you're just zapped, and you can be either completely energized or completely exhausted, one way or the other. But it's like it takes you in a giant snowball and shakes you up. And we're in this solar maximum cycle that we're coming into for this whole year anyway. So it was like, whew, it was some intense stuff going on Wednesday. Thursday was a little bit better. Friday, today was like this kind of big insight day. So again, we're Thursday, Friday was all about sort of tapping into the third eye. And so we're going to do that tonight in our meditation. But I really wanted to give you guys some ways to tap into the elements, and some ways to tap into the feminine energy when you're meditating. So when I say feminine energy, this is moving while meditating. This is incorporating all of the elements, earth, fire, water, and air, right? So when we look at the different types of meditation, such as air, we're thinking, things like actually using the wind, having the wind as part of your of your way of practicing meditation. Feel the wind move you. Have yourself sit in a fan and just feel the air moving on yourself. Air is also like studying, reading, conversing. We can meditate while we're having a conversation. Meditation doesn't have to be so rigid. It doesn't have to be 15 to 30 minutes an hour. It's being connected and having an intention in a container. So, kind of doing some work, focusing on, say you want optimal health. Well, then go for a little walk and have that container, have that intention, feel into, receiving information as to what the best actions that you can take for achieving optimal health while you're going for a walk, while you're reading, while you're studying, thinking about tree branches. So this tree of life, the tree of life meditation that I do is, I think everybody probably does it a little bit differently. And I've kind of guided you guys through this a little bit before. But when we talk about air, I like thinking of the tree of life, because I like, with the air element, you can actually picture the leaves of your tree, blowing in the wind, absorbing the air, getting the whispers of the air angels, because there are so many angels around us. There are so many people that have passed that are still with us, and they have been coming through too, with this sort of thinned veil happening over Halloween into November. And even just the way the planets are, they keep saying that this veil is thin still, where I think we're meant to recognize how when people have passed, their bodies may be gone, but their spirits are still here. And I want us to take this in with this feminine energy too, in that the people that have passed, they can sometimes help us more from that realm than they can from this realm. And if we can trust that they're on the other side in our corner, guiding us every step of the way, there's not only them, there's not only those people that have passed or animals that have passed that are so close to us that are still, they're so with us. I mean, there's a medium, I'm sure you guys have heard of Matt Fraser. He's like a kind of like a celebrity, medium. He talks a lot about how he's happy every day because he's connected with these people that have passed that are just literally still with him in such a strong way all the time. Like, they're with you in your house, they're with you in your car, they're with you at different times. But not only are they with you, there's spirit guides that are these angels, these people that have passed, these souls that have passed, that are just so enjoying the healing work that they're doing that they stay on to be spirit guides. We have angels, we have ascended masters, we have all this help, yet we feel so alone and so disconnected sometimes. This last couple of months has been about really truly connecting to your spirit and trusting that there's more there than we really know that there is, and to really allow some of those people to talk to us, to give us that strength, to give us that wisdom, to give us that peace, that they are still there. So some more air practices are things like journaling, writing, reflective questions, when you kind of ask yourself, what does this mean? Is there a message for me? Is there, there's so many different reflective types of questions that you can do, but anything with sort of communication, speaking, singing, chanting, those are all sort of air elements. Those are all ways to meditate. So it doesn't mean you have to be sitting in a dark room or laying down all the time. You can practice some of these elemental, feminine, meditative practices. If you were to watch someone doing a full-on feminine meditation, it would involve moving. So this is, I keep on going away from this tree of life meditation, but just for a moment with me, let's do this before we hop into the other elements. So let's just imagine for a moment, just closing your eyes, getting rid of all of that outside stimulation, and just imagining right now that the body that you contain right now is the trunk of a tree. Your whole body is a trunk. It's literally just a trunk of a tree. Imagine what kind of bark you have. Imagine what that outer shell looks like. Are you a hardwood or a softer wood? Do you have bark that's peeling, or is it more like a poplar where it's like, that, or a birch with that white skin? What does your tree trunk look and feel like? And how big is it? How dense is it? Are you this old tree? The first thing that pops into your mind is the best thing. It's the first thought, the best thought. This is what we just go with. You can change this every time you do this meditation. But I want you to just breathe as you're a tree and feel as though that oxygen is moving in and out of the bark of your tree. It's moving in and out of the inside of the trunk of the tree. And it's just this energy inside of this tree. And I want you to imagine now that out of the bottom of this tree, you're growing big, wide roots. Like, I'm talking huge. They are expansive, almost as though when I do this, I envision roots going down deep into Mother Earth, but I envision roots wrapping around the whole earth, connecting. As these roots are connecting into the earth, they can go as far and as wide as you want. They could encompass the whole earth. You could have a root system that goes all the way to Saudi Arabia if you wanted to. You could have root systems just going and going, and just imagine them just expansively branching down into the earth, just grounding you so deeply. Just keep on imagining these roots just growing, rooting you in, stabilizing your whole tree. This could be a small tree, but a huge root system, and just make it big and make it expansive and make it just branch out so far. More roots are just growing and growing. And now imagine that energy starting to seep up from the earth, just drawing her beautiful energy in and coming all the way up the trunk of your tree, all the way to your head, and opening up into leaves and branches. And imagine now the star energy, the beautiful sun energy, all of the energy from up above growing and helping you manifest these branches, these trees. And if I was truly femininely meditating, I would move my arms like branches, and I would allow my hands to just do whatever they wanted to do, just feeling that energy, just allowing that feminine energy to move through, feeling those branches expand, making a huge rooftop. Maybe they're branching out far. Maybe they're starting to house animals and birds. And imagine these leaves and these branches just growing and reaching and growing and just absorbing that sunlight and the photosynthesis, and feeling that feeling of leaves growing out of the top of your head and your arms, and just feeling that in your body, really feeling. This is feminine meditation, the connection to all, the connection to every star, every other soul, every other tree, every other piece of nature. Just expand into that and just feel how good that feels. And just take a couple of nice deep breaths as this tree. This is a tree of life meditation, super simple. Dial on into there. Hold the container as a tree of life. Just expand into what you want. You can start choosing now what it is you want to create in life, where it is that you're wanting to go. I just want peace and harmony. I'm the peace and harmony tree of life, and just feeling it. It's just amazing to just feel that energy move through your body. So this is air, right? This is connecting. We're starting to kind of get into the earth, and I love the earth practices because they're about movement too, right? They're about flow. They're about structured exercise. When we talk about earth, we're talking about like people that lift weights, or they get into the zone in boxing, or they get into the zone in yoga or Pilates, or they meditate as they're riding a bike. My one girlfriend, that's what she does. She cycles while she's channeling. Like, it's just wild, the actual insight and information that comes in when you're moving energy through your body like that. sometimes that can be the most incredible form of meditation, is going on the bike. I do it in my sauna where I sweat and I purge and I feel that energy moving. I use those elements while I'm in my sauna. I use the fire because I have the heat. I use the water. I pretend things are washing through me. I actually imagine, as far as the water element, I imagine my organs flushing water through, but like the fluid, right? All cleaning out the ducts in between things. I imagine my lymph system being flushed like water. Um, Another one for water is the jellyfish pulse. You know how a jellyfish pulses? You do that with your hands. You imagine your body pulsing. I'll do the jellyfish pulse in my sauna sometimes because there's just a small window out front. So I usually know no one's watching me. And this is the thing, right? I never really used to do a lot of these feminine meditation techniques, but they've just kind of been coming in, and I'm like, there's a real flow of this. Maybe this would help you guys too, to be able to incorporate some of the elements into your meditation practice, but really to start embracing the feminine energy with our meditation practices in the movement, right? In the let your body move. So we'll get to some other ones with fire and stuff like this, but yeah, earth, definitely the sort of structured exercise. The other one is grounding. I always talk about grounding, getting out on the grass in your feet. And I love just lying flat out, put my face right on the ground. I'll put my third eye right on the ground and ground my third eye into the earth. I laugh at myself as I'm doing it because I'm like inhaling grass and dust and whatnot. Right now it'd be snow or ice, but literally putting your belly button on the ground, flat out on the ground, just earthing. Animals are super grounding in the earth element. So being able to tap into their energy, right? Go have an animal snuggle if you can. Even astrology can be sort of a little bit more on the earthy realm, between earth and air, kind of tapping into your chart and just even meditating on that. What does this want to show me right now? Getting some of that information. Back to water, really amazing as far as allowing the shower or the bath or a swimming pool or a healing body of water in any way, shape, or form that you can, to literally wash away any tension that you're feeling, any stress. Imagine it cleansing your whole energy system, all of your organs as you're in it, moving your hips in the water, doing some of this movement in the water. How good did it feel as a kid? You know, this is what it is, going back to being a kid. Like, remember when you used to just dance like no one was watching? When you used to just spin around in circles and be free and have fun? And this is what we're trying to, this is where we're going right now. This is almost what we need. And I noticed with that full moon, especially last Wednesday, after the full moon, that energy, especially with kids that were not neurodivergent, or their nervous systems weren't balanced, right, where they sort of needed that reset to happen. It was really overwhelming and tough. So to be able to kind of reel in some of that energy, to be able to get it out in a healthy way, right? To do that, that was really helpful for a lot of kids. If they had, we felt as though we were talking to a brick wall last week. Usually, I think mostly everybody that I spoke to, I don't know if it was anyone on this call, but I wouldn't divulge. And in any case, it's more people. Whenever I talk about people, it's not about you guys. It's about just random people that I'm talking to, not clients, that are like, affirming exactly what's going on. Because when I tell them, they're like, that's exactly what's going on. I'm like, yeah, I know, like, it's wild, right? That's the only way I'm coping, is I knew this was going to be like this today. So I meditated and I got ahead of it, and I'm handling this beautifully. Otherwise, I think I'd be probably drinking right now. Like, it was like, it was just this crazy kind of day. But to be able to use even your drinking water as a bit of a purifier or a cleanser when we feel like we're hitting a brick wall, or talking to we'd probably, there was a lot of miscommunication. So we could say things and it was kind of like we almost would have been better off just talking to a wall because we may have gotten further. This energy is lifting this week. We're gonna start feeling you're waiting chocolate this week. That's okay. chocolate is well, I was going to make something up and say that's an earth meditation. It's not. But you can even use it as, reward, a little bit of a reward, a little bit of a taste of getting into your senses. That's the earth, right? Getting into all of the senses. I love that. Yeah, it's good. See, it could be a lot worse than chocolate again. I think, I thought I would start smoking again if I was around anyone who smoked. It's so true. I think I would have done the exact same thing, to be honest. It was crazy, but it's going to flow so much better. So I'm going to go through the week really quickly for you guys. I know I have so much to say tonight. Oh, I didn't go into fire. I'm jumping all over the place. I'm going to ground myself because holy smackers. Okay, so fire, obvious, fire. Use a candle, do candle staring. Going to my forest, staring at the candle, doing a little bit of meditation that way, literally staring at it, not closing your eyes, staring at a candlelight. Seeing it in color, allow it to imagine, if you don't have a candlelight in front of you, see the flame that you have in front of your third eye. I've talked about that before, and opening up that third eye. Picture a flame and picture the color. Orange is coming up for me right now. So some sacral chakra opening is going to happen in this meditation, which will be very beautiful. Some of those deep, dark stories that we sort of buried down, they've come up over these last couple of weeks. It's been pretty wild. So I love the fire candle gazing type of practice, or even just imagining. Of course, fire is very alchemical, right? So if we really want to shift things, write them down on a piece of paper and actually burn it. Have a fire, and even burn some stuff that you don't need anymore. Throw out some old things that you're ready to get rid of. Oh, I was trying to remember what I was going to say about fire. Kundalini energy, Kundalini shaking. That Kundalini shaking can be really wild. If you can even go on Spotify or YouTube and look up Kundalini shaking drumming, Kundalini energy music, and do a little drumming, do a little dancing, do a little shaking for Kundalini energy. This is, of course, from the bottom of the spine, that energy that sort of moves up the spine. This is done through dancing, through tailbones, even sometimes just shifting the way you're sitting, just sitting up straight, rolling your shoulders back, actually sitting on your sit bones, grounding yourself that way, and, doing a little bit of shaking in your chair if you can't get up and do it. Listening to music and actually just moving your body, even if you're just shaking it. Huge meditation, feminine energy releasing. So beautiful. So beautiful. Thinking about having a flame inside of you, kind of like moving it through, moving that light all the way through. Playing with light, playing with fire is absolutely beautiful. So quickly, I'm going to just give us a bit of an energy update here. So December 1st, if you guys haven't, my body's just releasing like crazy. I'm sorry. If you guys haven't done your cinnamon ritual for today, do it. Take a pinch of cinnamon with your left hand, put it into your right, and then you can go around, you can bless it, call in abundance to this cinnamon, really bring that abundance energy into that cinnamon in your hand, and then you can go around to your doorways, give it a little blow. I use cinnamon oil in the diffusers always on the first of the month. You can take cinnamon and just sprinkle it across especially your front door where you're coming into your house. even in your room. You can sprinkle cinnamon basically everywhere you want to increase some abundance. If you want to increase the abundance coming into your house, that's why I say the front door. It's an absolutely beautiful ritual to do. That's one of my favorite things to do on the first. And I'd been charging my crystals. I brought a big jar of crystals back down here so I can use my crystals again, just kind of getting back into that. If you've had them out charging, bring them back off the windowsill and start tapping into that earth energy as well. That's another way to meditate, just by putting some intention into that crystal, tucking it into your bra. That's like a full-time meditation happening right there. So we've had Neptune is starting to move direct this week, which is very, very cool. So this is about, like I was saying, honoring our journey, knowing that everything is in perfect divine timing. This week, you may feel some real self-worth coming in, some real confidence, some love and validation that we've been sort of needing, because we're going to understand that we can access this from, this crystal's getting hot as I'm rubbing it here. We can access this from within. We don't need it from within. We don't need the validation from anyone else, or the acceptance from anyone else, or the love from anyone else. We're going to start feeling this love and this worth coming in. And that has to do with this meditation tonight as well, in releasing these regrets, releasing this pain, releasing some things that we're ready to actually shift and feel and see, some of the things that we've been feeling bad about that are keeping us from feeling that self-worth. We don't even need to know what it is, but we are going to get it out of our energetic fields because it is ready to purge. And so today there was some pretty big shifts. This is a master day. It's another 11 day. So it kind of is laying the groundwork for the month, right? Laying a groundwork into going into 2024. We have been feeling a little bit of probably procrastination or indecision, lack of clarity about where we're going. And this is all going to sort of melt away this week. The way the planets, like I was saying, Neptune's been in retrograde for 5 whole months. That's been keeping us in story, in discover, in dark night of the soul for almost 5 months of seeing shit and wanting to break through the clarity. And now, as it goes direct, we can finally get this clarity coming in, this flow of truth and honor, and recognizing our past, forgiving, moving through, and knowing that by us acting at our best, we are going to affect everybody else. We don't have to worry about what they're doing, because what they're doing is going to be affected by us if we are on that right path. And if it's not, we're going to know that it's not going to feel good, and it's going to be really easy to move away from. So we're kind of, that acceptance can cause so much healing. It's one of the only ways to really allow healing to happen. And so this is going to be happening. And then come this weekend, we're full on into Mercury pre-retrograde shadow, which means Mercury is coming into retrograde around the 12th of December. But we're going to feel like things haven't been coming fast enough. Like, I'm fucking manifesting here. Why are things no different? Why are things exactly the same? This is when we actually get to say, oh, that's what I believe. I'm fucking manifesting here and nothing's happening. It's literally where we get to kind of look at, oh my gosh, no, things have come so far. I'm dealing with things so much better. I have, it's Saturn is reminding us this weekend that we just have to have patience, because this is for the long haul. This isn't an instant fix. And in fact, next week, we may even discover that we're still going where we wanted to get to. It's just not exactly the way we thought it was going to be. And this is what sort of happens when Neptune moves direct again. So it's really quite wild. It's all about trusting, knowing that it's coming, trusting. And this is where that feminine energy comes in. And I think this is why this is all come into my brain over these last 24 hours. It's like, oh, I'm gonna have so much to talk about. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to fit it all in the hour that we have here. But if we can allow on Sunday to sort of reflect a little bit, Saturday maybe a bit busier, it's gonna be sparkly, kind of magical. But Sunday is going to be a day where if you have some moments to rest, to meditate, please do take them. Please do honor yourself. Set this up, because this way of being now is going to be setting up this permanent way of being. This is long-term stuff. This is your essential opportunity to re-engage, even if you got a little bit off track. Re-engage on Sunday. It's some seriously deep healing that's going on, and so we need to honor that in ourselves. And with the following week, we're going to have to be sort of held a little bit more accountable. So Sunday is going to be kind of like a reset day. I had in my notes that Jupiter retrograde is really encouraging us to apply ourselves, and you'll be rewarded. And I don't remember writing that. It's really funny. Even if it wasn't what you thought it would be. Yeah. So literally this self-worth and inner belief are coming. Yeah, Sunday is really a reset day. That's funny. Yeah, that it's literally that we're almost going back to Wednesday, where it's like, just take one thing at a time. Don't get overwhelmed. Take one step at a time. What is it that's your sort of your highest priority right now? What's going to serve you the best? Do that, right? Do that rather than doing all the other stuff. So Monday is going to sort of be this accountability. You may find this sort of higher path Monday after having this big weekend. There's a lot of information collection happening as the moon was in Gemini. This is all about collecting that information that we needing to that information that sort of needed to be known and needed to be seen. It may not have been the easiest stuff to see, and it may continue to be a little bit tough, but it's not going to be as tough as it has been. It's going to be more insightful. It's going to be more like, it's going to bring more peace. It's going to bring more comfort. It's going to bring more flow. It's literally allowing us to sort of acknowledge and kind of go into acceptance about ourselves, that we can forgive ourselves a little bit, that maybe we did our best. With this whole meditation tonight about releasing regrets, this is about the stuff that we're feeling that we could have done a little bit better, and really allowing us to finally take those positive steps, rather than sort of having this keep coming up. With Neptune going direct, we kind of get this awakening, and we get to leave this stuff behind, and it's going to be beautiful. So Monday is going to be, it's like getting your physical movement, getting your feminine energy moving. Tuesday is more about honoring our needs. There's going to be kind of like a deep healing wave that comes in about your sacred needs. We're having meteor showers. So you might have a dream about something that you sacredly need. And it may be something that you are doing or aren't doing, again, haven't even thought of. But this is where those epiphanies around how if we feel as though others will never change, know that they're going to shift as you do. So your guiding light, your guiding the path is affecting more than just you. It's, sometimes we think, oh, God, this is too hard, I'm just not doing it anymore. It's so important, because the people that are around you are also learning and following your path as well. So sometimes it helps us to help others, right? Venus is also bringing in some passion, some more of this empathic type of feeling. So getting into your senses, really kind of for Monday, Tuesday, taking action, but then stabilizing. It's like take an action, but then assimilate. Take an action, but then assimilate. Look back on what you're doing, rather than just taking on action after action after action. Allow yourself to kind of have this rhythm of ebb and flow. So by Wednesday, Neptune actually starts moving. So this is like this big awakening after this 5-month retrograde. It's been like this. I think everyone I know has gone through a bit of a spiritual awakening in the last 5 months. And that is, Neptune is all about spirit, right? It's all about sort of being elusive, the unseen, the invisible, uplifting. And so now we only have 3 planets in retrograde. That's Chiron, which is the past, right? So there's still a little bit of that, but we don't have 8 planets in retrograde anymore. Thank you. Uranus and Jupiter. So again, they're big ones, but they're all about uncovering these lost parts. So for the next little while, there's still going to be a bit more uncovering to happen. We're not uncovering it all at once, but we're uncovering some big stuff to make space and to make light for that energy to be able to flow. Because for a lot of us, I feel like we've been feeling lack of energy and just like it's not flowing. And this is, I feel like this meditation will really help us sort of move things forward. So by the time we get to Thursday, it's really about aligning with love. It's really about harnessing that true nature and purpose. We're going to have some nice insights. Again, like I say, it may be kind of unexpected, or even you may find some insights on things that you never even knew were in your path. But this is sort of the beauty of the journey. And this is how we're going to be able to really have some fun this week in being open to the opportunity that everything is meant to happen for a reason, and just being open to all possibilities. Something that we normally would have shut down right away may be more appealing to us. An email, someone who's been emailing you all this time and it just didn't feel right, and all of a sudden you're just kind of feeling like, yeah, maybe it is right. There may be something to this. I think I should reach out. Things are, your mind is going to be shifting. Things are going to be expanding, and it's going to be quite beautiful because it's expanding, because a lot of this self-deprecation, this self-talk, the judgments on ourselves, the beating up of ourselves, the forgiveness of ourselves is happening this week with these planets moving forward. It's really quite beautiful. So if we can allow this, and we can assist our bodies and our spirits through this by movement and by physical feminine meditation, I think we'll have some pretty amazing days coming up this week. It's going to be really cool. I'm excited. From last week, seeing like, oh my God, this is, I think, like the hardest time I've ever had, like ever in my career. Like I saw teachers posting that. I saw people like, I've never been so mad in my life. I didn't have super extremes because I'm pretty grounded. However, what I found wild was in my dream, I had rage like I've never had before in my life. And wow, was that huge. Like it was crazy. I really, and it showed me how far I've come, because I normally would have already cried knowing that it's December 1st and I haven't started Christmas shopping, blah, 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 like being totally overwhelmed. I'm just loving life right now. I'm just feeling so good, and just loving helping other people through this stuff, and really excited for all of the things to come. But it's still, this healing is still happening even through dreams. So keep in mind those meteor showers are coming through. So some pretty vivid dreams may come through. This doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. This means there's healing happening when you're in that theta state, which is so beautiful. So I don't want to take us too, people have felt crazy. Like they're like, I think I'm losing my mind, like literally it was so overwhelming. And it pushed us to limitations. But I feel like those moments when we were completely overwhelmed and being pushed that far, there was a huge lesson in that. There was a big lesson in that. It was something that we had either been through before, something from our past, there was an enlightenment, a lesson that came through with every single moment of huge overwhelm. If we asked it, if we allowed it, and didn't let it just kind of take us down, there's some profound healing that happened with that intensity. And that's why it was there. It was to push out. This is a major shifting time. I know I've said that before, but this was huge and bigger than a lot of us expected with some of those solar flares that are happening. On our way home just now, there's northern lights out, this aurora borealis, where they're just lit up in the sky on our way home. And I was just like, oh, you're speaking to me, spirit. Like, it's just, oh, beautiful. There's so much flaring going on in our universe. And to think that this doesn't affect people is crazy, right? That's really what's crazy. And I think a lot of this, we would have thought we were crazy trying to do these meditations and be, like, make it weird. That's the best thing we can do for feminine energy. Be weird, tap into that medicine woman, medicine man inside of you, really tap into that energy, because there is that part of us. So I'm going to do my best to bring us on this beautiful meditation without going too long. I may just bring us a few minutes over 8 o'clock, so I apologize. But if you guys are ready to get into a meditative position, whether you're just sitting up nice and tall on your sit bones with your back straight, or you're laying, try and straighten out your back as much as you can to allow this energy to just flow through your body. And you can imagine for just a moment that the breath is entering your body. I want you to allow this breath to enter your body through your feet. Imagine as you're breathing in through your feet. Feel your feet on the ground. Feel as though you're extracting that oxygen itself from Mother Earth, bringing it up through your feet, up into your belly. And as you breathe out, I want you to imagine pushing that air out the top of your head. So we're going to just do some channel breaths, just moving some air, some oxygen through our bodies. So again, as you breathe in, breathing up through your feet, up into your legs, into your hips, into your belly. And then as you're breathing out, imagine that breath leaving your body through the very top of your head, traveling up through your stomach, your chest, your throat, your face, your head. And just continue taking a few nice deep breaths in, imagining that air entering through the bottoms of your feet, all the way up into the middle of your body. And at that midpoint, it exchanges. And as you start to breathe out, you can feel that air moving out of the top of your head. And this reminds me of the flow of contraction and relaxation. And just as though we're breathing in and breathing out, we need both to experience. We need that contraction once in a while to feel that expansion. We need that inhale to allow that exhale to occur, and just feel that inhalation coming up through your feet into your belly, out of your belly and out of your head as you breathe out. Just relaxing your body, just moving that air through your body. And I want you to imagine right now that you are standing in absolute darkness, and all of a sudden, a small podium type of stage, like a stand that you would stand on if you were a Barbie being stood on a light stand, where all of a sudden there's just this small platform for you to step onto. And it is lit up. This platform is beautiful. It's like this podium of pure light that you are able to just step onto. And I want you to imagine what it feels like to stand and be basked in complete light, coming up from the earth, coming down from the cosmos, like you're standing in this chamber of light. Just imagine right now that you're standing on this podium, on this little stage, on this little platform that has light coming out of it. Imagine this light lighting up your whole body. And as you stand there, it's almost like this white mist of light comes over your body and just starts to talk and communicate with all of your cells. It's like this beautiful white magic particle storm that's coming towards your light podium. And imagine all these light particles just starting to move in and around your system, moving in and around through your body, sweeping through, vibrating against every cell in your body. And as they do, as this white mist starts to move around and through your body as it's all lit up, I want you to ask yourself and ask Spirit and ask all the guides to be around you in this safe container, in this safe space for healing. Allow them to help you to just relax. Allow them to help you envision yourself standing on this lit up platform. This light goes way beyond your body, up into the universe, and way below your body, down into the earth. It's like this powerful light column. As long as you're standing in there, this is pure healing energy, pure healing light. This podium allows anything from the body in the field, the superconscious field, to be shifted, to be transmuted, to be cleansed, to be cleared, and to be healed. This is a beautiful portal that you can stand in anytime to help cleanse and balance your body. And this white mist is almost like all of your spirit guides, all of your angels, all of science and DNA and matrix and everything that's able to heal you. It's like this beautiful white light storm that is just scanning and moving gently through your whole body. And I want you to bring up a time now, a feeling where you just feel really bad about the way things went, about a regret. I want you to just bring forth this regret and allow it to just be shown to this white mist. Hold it out in your third eye, with your third eye. Just imagine the scenario. Imagine some of the things that you're feeling bad about. Imagine the way you were acting. Imagine the way things went down. And allow this white mist to just start doing its magic. Allow any emotions to move through the body. Allow any feelings, any stories, any things you're ready to allow to be released. Imagine this white mist starting to draw this regret out of your body, out of your energy field, out of your third eye view, and place it into a bubble. It's like a bubble automatically forms coming off of your body with this image in it. Allowing this to release now from your body. Imagine this bubble literally coming off of your body, literally releasing from your field. And imagine it just starting to float away. The mist is carrying it away and sending it just like a floating bubble out into the ethers, out into the universe. And just imagine now getting any insight around this information. Allowing yourself to see you had the information you did at the time. And maybe you even understand why the other person was acting the way they were. Maybe you can see things from a slightly different perspective. Maybe they were hurting. Maybe they just did their best. And all this time you've held on to a story when really they were just acting from their traumatized parts. Allow yourself to do a little bit of forgiveness work. Allow yourself to understand you did your best. Choosing to let that regret go, knowing that that energy was dragging you down, was harboring some heaviness inside of the body. I want you to now bring up something else that you maybe regret. Maybe it's just not spending enough time with someone. Maybe it's something you did to someone, something you said, something you didn't say. Thoughts you've been having, maybe something you didn't say at all, but just thoughts, feelings. And allowing your body to now produce another bubble. where you can see with your third eye what this regret looks like, what this situation looks like, what this time in your life looks like. Maybe there's even times where you felt like you're never going to get something back again. Know that the universe always makes it twice, and if it's meant to be, it's going to come back. Allow some of these beautiful insights to start trickling in as this bubble gets pushed out from your body. Envisioning it with your third eye and allowing this white mist to come back and carry this bubble away for you. Just removing it from your field, removing it from your system. And just allow that bubble to just float away, just choosing to release it, choosing not to hold on to that anymore, knowing you don't deserve to feel bad. You're done with feeling bad. You want to feel good. You want to do good. And maybe allow any teachings or insights from this. Maybe this teaches us that life is short, that we need to be able to treat people and treat ourselves a little bit differently. And allow now one last thing, one last regret. Whatever pops into your mind, or even if something in particular isn't coming up, allow the third eye to bring a time where maybe you were telling stories about yourself like you weren't worthy or you didn't deserve something. Allow yourself to forgive yourself for that. Allow some forgiveness to start coming through. Choosing to not harbor all this resentment for yourself. No one else does. No one else would. Why are we so hard on ourselves? Just allowing some of that energy to move through. Allow this white mist to draw any of this lack of self-worth out, just like a bubble being released from your body and carried out by that white mist. Now that beautiful white mist cloud is moving all these bubbles away. And you can see this white mist cloud coming back to embrace and imbue every cell of your body with new light, washing over you, allowing this light beam to now be amplified. And you can see it starting to shine through your body where any of these dense energies were. It's starting to light you up, starting to fill your cells. It's starting to fill your light body with all this beautiful energy, the feeling of love, the feeling of acceptance, knowing, yeah, we're not perfect. Maybe we made some mistakes, forgiving ourselves for that, planning the future of how we're going to be operating, where we're going to be operating from such a pure place of love, such a pure place of healing and holding space and holding light and feeling that light just start to fill our very light body, our physical body, our emotional, our mental, our spiritual, allowing it to fill us up. And as this light amplifies, we can start to see all of the guides around us. It's like this light is shining through us and around us and connecting us to all others, connecting us to spirits that are trying to help us, connecting us to source. It's like it plugged us in and all these colors are starting to shine like a kaleidoscope out of all of the cracks of our body. And just imagine your whole body filling with the light from this beautiful podium, shining colors through, shining lights, shining beams through and around, and just lighting up your whole light body. Cleansing and clearing all of the chakras, the root, the sacral plexus, the solar plexus, feeling that light moving through your whole body, starting to fill your legs, starting to fill your feet, your lower abdomen, your chest, And now your heart, all those cracks in the heart are making the most beautiful light kaleidoscope reflections around you, connecting to others' hearts, connecting further than you ever could have imagined, and allow that light to fill through the throat chakra. Right up your face, your forehead, into your third eye. Lighting that up, allowing you to see even more light, just expanding around your whole body. Filling up and expanding through your crown chakra and looking at the magic in the sky that's being radiated from this light column coming right out of the top of your head. Look how far it goes, look how far it expands, creating new stars, perhaps even creating some northern lights. Imagine this light just beaming and radiating from your body as it charges you up. Taking a few nice deep breaths. I want you to tap now just into your true nature and purpose. What you're really meant to be here. It may just be to light the way, just to be that connecting light for people, for yourself, to live in peace and harmony, to live in love, to share your gifts with others. And ask maybe even to see something that you can do this week that lights you up, that brings happiness, brings joy, brings expansion into your life. Often the first thought is the best thought. Whatever comes to your mind, doing something. Maybe it's this feminine meditation. Maybe it's a little chanting. Maybe you've been wanting to dance or paint or write. Hold that container. If it's health, what could be the most sacred action that you could do to create flow in this container that you're ready to create in your life? And just grounding all that in, we'll just bring that in with a nice receiving breath, just accepting that into the body. Staying on your light podium, feeling that light just continue to charge up your body, your soul. Almost picture this as like a charging station that you can come and jump on whenever you need to. And when you're ready, you can just take a nice deep breath and choose to come back into your body, feeling the light supercharge you, energize you. It's nice. That didn't feel as heavy as it felt coming into it earlier today when I had set the intention to release some regrets. I think because of the work that we've been doing over the last couple of weeks has been allowing us to sort of move through this, like we say, dark night of the soul that sort of happened with the soul expansion, and that inhalation, exhalation, even the contraction with the expansion. We can't have a baby without having those contractions. We can't birth something new with a little contraction. Just allowing ourselves to use this feminine energy to move through some of this stuff over the next week or so will be very beautiful. Once Mercury retrograde comes in, things are going to be a little bit more, they're going to be a little bit more sensical. It's going to be less delusional. It's going to be less, it's going to be more clarity. It's going to, but these missing puzzle pieces, these healings that are coming in over this next week, if we're receptive, are going to be really huge. They're going to be really huge. This is all just for such soul expansion. I'm so glad I'm hearing that this was helpful for you guys. So pull up the chat so I can actually see. Amazing. Awesome. Awesome. I am so glad. I will be back on Wednesday. We have officially launched our CreatorSphere Inner Circle, or our CreatorSphere portal, where we have some amazing gifts to offer everyone. We're doing this as a soft launch for our friends and family, so you guys are all considered that indeed. I am going to be posting links. I'm running out to pick up a child right away, but I'm going to be posting links tonight, if Michelle or Julie have not already, in our CreatorSphere Collective and our CreatorSphere Inner Circle, inviting you guys to sign up for our portal. It is absolutely free. We have 5 coaches. There's Paul Downey, Verena White, Julie Simpson, Michelle Hargraves, and myself. And we all have a free course that we've offered. I threw an ebook in there for essential oils too. I have my breathwork and chakra courses, my meditation hub. They all have some beautiful offerings that they've all created, and they're all free. So this is like if you want to do some air meditation stuff, this is some beautiful gifts that are in the portal. And then for our group clients who are signed up as well, then you also have access to our Magnetic Mind University and all that kind of stuff in there too. So for everyone else, it's there is the free version in the CreatorSphere portal that we have all these wonderful offerings. So we'll put the links out there. Let us know, if it's glitchy. We want to know before we really start pumping it out there on Mercury retrograde. So this next couple weeks, we're looking for insight and feedback. We're of course still plugging things in there every day because there's lots. I have hundreds of meditations that we're downloading into there, so it's taking a while. I got a lot of meditations. But I also encourage you to go back into my Magnetic Soul Life Coaching page in the guide section. A lot of my meditations are in there. A lot of the old classes that I did. There's lots of oldies but goodies in there when I was looking for the Matrix Energetics ones to send you guys. There's some oldies but goodies. And also the Recode Room is still active. Both Linda and I haven't posted a whole lot since January, since Charity kind of went back to work. And so we've got some really oldies but goodies in there in our guide section. So feel free to still peruse those. You guys are parts of those groups. So I'd love it if you went ahead and just dove into our new portal and give me some feedback. Let me know how it's going. This is also an invitation too, because we are going to have another with this soft launch happening come Mercury retrograde. We're going to be inviting other coaches too. We're only going to have another, I guess, 7 spots probably altogether. I don't know if that's going to be our accurate number for sure. We might just try and even start with 8. So there would be 3 spots for other coaches to join us in the group. And so you would be a coach in CreatorSphere Inner Circle. You would be hosting classes. You would be doing stuff like that. And so there is going to be that opportunity for 3 more coaches to hop on with us too, if it's something that you would like to offer your clients. This is exactly why we did it, because we have ClickFunnels, we have VAs, we have a website, we have these things because it's overwhelming, right? It's so much to try and start your own business. This is where you have an instant group to be able to share with. And so that's very exciting. We're rolling with all this stuff. We're super pumped. So when we have been speaking about launch, this is what we're doing. We're just kind of soft launching today. And then hopefully by Mercury retrograde, middle of December there, we're going to be offering it to coaches as well, and kind of getting all the kinks out and seeing how things are going. So we'll put those links in, so definitely check them out. And I'm just going to let you guys go because I have been going on and on. So much to say tonight, and I still didn't get to everything I wanted to. However, you can always watch it again. And if you have any questions, please reach out. Have an amazing weekend, you guys. Sending you so much love. We'll talk to you very soon. Bye, everybody.